Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Welcome back to another episode of Voice of Youth. Today we are talking about regret and how regret shouldn't be your teacher. We're talking about how your life experiences or what you do shouldn't be dictated by the regret you might feel. Or don't let missing an opportunity happen and you think, oh gosh, I regret this, and you learn a lesson because of that. Try to avoid that. Doesn't mean it's never going to happen. It will happen. There'll be times where you think, I should have done this instead of that. And then it would have, changed stuff, or you would have felt like it might have been better. It's always a hindsight. That's a thing that we love to have, but we can't sadly actually have. So what I'm trying to talk about here is the decision you can make at a time, and how the decision that you do make isn't something that you should try to learn a lesson of because you regret not doing something. Sometimes you will make a choice and you will end up saying, I should have done this instead. That kind of regret is fine. It's a bad thing if it happens too often, because then that means you're constantly doubting yourself, or you're constantly struggling to kind of figure out what you really want. But at times you're going to make a decision and it'll be one that you will think, okay, I should have done something else in the past. But I don't want people to go out there and live their life thinking, oh, I wish I did this, I wish I did that, I wish I did all these things. It's about taking the chances you get and also making any chances that you can make yourself. The main thing is that you don't look back at life, or you don't look back at things you would have done a week ago, a month ago, 3 months ago, and think, I should have done A instead of B, because regret is only going to just make you feel even worse about yourself. It's not something where you feel regret and you can just overcome it. Most of the time you'll wallow with it and you'll be just kind of spiral out of it. So do your best to kind of make scenarios or put yourself in situations where even if you do wish you did something differently, kind of roll with the choices that you've made and kind of keep going, snowballing in a good sense from one point you've made, and keep going and try to mold it into something that you can then jump off of again. I kind of went through analogies there or something, or metaphors, whatever, but I hope I get my point across there. And what I'm trying to say with this is that don't let that feeling of, oh, I could have done this instead, I could have done that instead, kind of just be a constant reminder in your head. Look at the opportunities you can get. Doesn't mean regret can never be a teacher. It can sometimes give you good lessons, but it's important to kind of understand that you can get so many more lessons from the negative experiences, the positive experiences, the journeys that you kind of take yourself on. And maybe sometimes things always end up working out in a way. And that's the kind of positive attitude I think people should go into their day-to-day lives with, and kind of understanding that, okay, maybe it didn't happen today, it'll happen tomorrow, or maybe it didn't go the way I exactly planned, but I'll look at it in a positive way, not with regret, but in a positive kind of spin that can be like, okay, who knows, if I now do this, this, and this, I could probably gain something out of it. Saying don't let regret be your teacher is very catchy and a good hook, but the more accurate kind of description or wording would be to say, don't let your negative thoughts dwell and be the reason that you make decisions. Think about the positive side of things and moving on from there. And it's the mindset, like I'm sure you've heard it before, your mindset is what dictates how you go on, how you live your life. So try to keep that positiveness inside there, and don't let that regret or negative thoughts or decision making or anything be what shapes you, be what drives you forward. So thank you for watching. I hope you got something out of it. If not, maybe just some new thoughts, or just some old thoughts you might have had that just might have got kick-started again. And once again, doesn't mean you can't ever feel negative, doesn't mean you can't ever regret doing things, doesn't mean you can never have those emotions. It just means that don't make those negative emotions, that regret, your driving force going forward. So thank you for watching, and Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.